Hi Libra, welcome to April 2017. This is your time of the year to balance your congeniality with some edge. That's because the Libra full moon on April 10th and 11th is one badass moon. So you may find in April that you're classy, sassy, and a bit badassy. And this is good. So use that edge. Now, the Libra full moon is working for you because you have Jupiter with you. Jupiter is optimism, expansion, opportunity, growth, success. And the moon and Jupiter are coupled together at the full moon on the 10th and the 11th, and they're being opposed by Uranus and the Sun in Aries. Full moons are always oppositions between the Sun and the Moon. Pluto is T-squaring both the Moon and Jupiter in Libra and the Sun and Uranus in Aries. So other people could be pushing at you or asking of you to do what they want you to do, and that's why it's really important that you stand for yourself and stand up for yourself and love you more than the need for the approval of others, because this energy could run you over. We're all working with this energy. It just depends on where it falls in our natal birth chart. And for you, it's in the first house because you are Libra, and so it's your moon. And Jupiter is in your sign. And so it's all about you, not other people, even though we want to harmonize with others, of course, and we want to be agreeable with others, not if it comes at the expense of you and what's right for you, because this is your time, this is your moon, and the universe is saying, go after what you want. Don't take no for an answer, even if you have to be a bit of a badass about it. And so, power is good. Pluto is all about power. Pluto is about owning your power and using that power. And we can do it nicely too, right? Because you're very classy. I mean, that is what Libra is, right? The iron fist in the velvet glove. We can be graceful. We can be classy, and we can have the power. And so Pluto can bring out power struggles and hidden agendas and ego games, and this is coming out of the foundation of your chart, which can have to do with family members and personal relationships, family relationships, and the Sun and Uranus are in the area of partnership, other people, people you consult, your agent. It can be your attorney. It can be your realtor. It can be your doctor and your coach and any business partners, colleagues, clients, patients. And so it's other people. And this is a very roller coaster, challenging energy. The Sun in Aries is very fiery and inspirational and dynamic, and you are attracted to fiery, independent, dynamic people. Aries rules your 7th house of marriage and partnership. So you're going to find that the very people you're attracted to could be, pushing up against you at this time. And that's why it's really important that you own your power and use that Jupiter, because it can create sudden opportunities, sudden breakthroughs, sudden windfalls. And it's all about you owning that edge, being edgy. And so this is going to be a roller coaster kind of energy, because the Sun will exactly oppose Jupiter on the 7th of April. Then it will square Pluto exactly on the 8th of April. Then the Libra full moon on the 10th and the 11th. And then the Sun will exactly couple with Uranus on the 14th. And, this energy is about you And you've been doing this work for years with the Uranus-Pluto energy, and so it's not really new. However, it can be bringing some new situations or new requirements of you to, set your boundaries and stand for yourself and ask for what you want and ask for what you need and, push back. Maybe it's a message like for you to be more like Aries, where you're out there and you're going for it and you're just really focused on your goals and what you want to achieve. And I like this. I think it is a really wonderful energy for you because you have Jupiter with you, which is blessings and opportunities, and other people have to make these changes, right? So it may be something brought to your attention where other people in your life need to make changes. And, sudden, Uranus is sudden and it's unexpected. So with Uranus, it's very challenging to predict what it will do because whatever you think it's going to do, it does something else. So with Uranus, we always say expect the unexpected. It's shocking, it's surprising, it's the disruptor. It's a disruptive energy. And when it merges with the sun like this, it's breaking up old patterns and creating new pathways, new opportunities, giving you a new direction in the area of relationships for you or how you work with other people. So it could be, how you're showing up and how you're working with other people, and be aware of projections because the 7th house opposes us. So, you are, say, the 1st house, you're the Libra, Aries is the 7th. And so oppositions, are relationships. Oppositions are always relationships. And we can be projecting onto others what we're doing. So, if you find yourself being annoyed by someone or irritated or they're pushing your buttons, is that because you no longer do that behavior or you don't think that a behavior is attractive or that the person should behave that way? Be aware of what's pushing your buttons, who is pushing your buttons, and is there a part of you that does that? Because we need relationship because it brings to our conscious awareness our own patterns that we may not be consciously aware of, so that the partner can be doing something that we're actually doing. So, this is an opportunity. Full moons bring things to light. Full moons bring things to conscious awareness. And what's been hidden or beneath the surface, all of a sudden it comes to light and it's like, whoa, I do that. And it also brings up intimacy and closeness, right? Where, one minute you want to be close and intimate, and the next minute you don't. You're just like, give me my freedom, give me my space. Or your partner could be doing that, where you're wanting the closeness and they're like, no, I need some space, give me some space. And so this can bring up the intimacy, closeness dynamic. But remember, it's a transit, it's not permanent, and it is here to show you something that can empower you and make your life better. And, with the Uranus energy, it's always about breaking us out of patterns and limitations, even though they can be very comfortable. They can be a rut. And Uranus wants for you to keep your life exciting and lively and fresh. And so it will break things up like a pattern or a behavior or a relationship. Now that doesn't mean, that it's necessarily going to play out that way. For some of you it could, where you reach that place where you just, okay, as I have gone as far as I want to go here, and I'm ready to move on to something better. And so, that may be an awareness that some of you have, or it just can be that it's time to inject some new life into the relationship. It's time to inject some new dynamics and, doing different things together, or changing the rules of the game even, right? Changing the rules of the relationship and giving each other more freedom, right? Because Uranus rules freedom and it rules liberation. And that's what it's always trying to do with any of us, is to break us free of our rigid structures and patterns so that we are liberating ourselves. And so this is a very liberating energy. It can be uncomfortable because people can, be unpredictable during this cycle, this Sun in Aries, especially when it merges with Uranus at the full moon and then exact on the 14th. And so, it's a lively energy, it's an exciting energy, and you have the edge. So remember that. This is not the time for you to just keep the peace and not upset the apple cart. This is the time for you to go for it and ask for what you want from other people. Ask for what you want from your partner. Ask for what you want from whoever you're working with. And, don't settle for less. Settle for more. Yeah, settle for more. And you'll find that you get it. Remember, you have Jupiter with you. And Jupiter is so positive and uplifting and inspiring. And it's the law of attraction. So if you're embodying that Jupiter and you're owning your Jupiter, you're going to attract good things to you. You're going to attract good relationship to you. You're going to attract the right people into your life at the right time. Now, what's interesting too is your ruling planet Venus, she does go direct on April 15th. That's good news. And she's also rubbing up against Saturn. She's being challenged by him on April 8th and April 21st. That's because she steps back into Pisces on April 2nd, and Saturn is in Sagittarius, and so they're challenging each other. And this has to do with work relationships, but it can be this theme of relationships with you because you rule relationships, and your relationship area is very active here in April going into May. And so Venus, the goddess of love and relationships, is being challenged by Saturn. And so Saturn wants for you to really look at your relationships and see how are your needs being met. Now this has a lot to do with the people you're working with, because she's down here in Pisces, which rules how you work in the world. And she's being challenged by Saturn out of the area of your mind, communication. And so this is an important time for you to look at, how is your work going? Do you still like what you're doing? Do you want to make changes to your work? Who are you working with? Do you like them? How is that going? Here is an opportunity for you to evaluate these relationships. Do you want to change your work? Is there something about your work that you want to change? This is an opportunity for you to evaluate what your needs are now, here in April, going into May. Venus is direct. What have you learned all of March and this first half of April? We always want to go back and reflect upon what the planet has taught us while he or she was retrograde, even though they don't really have a sex, even though we give them sexes. That's our human way. And so Venus, she's your ruling planet, and she's been retrograde, and first it started in Aries, and now it's moved back into Pisces. So you have been evaluating your relationships. You have been taking a look at things. And again, relationships is a huge area. It can be the realtor you're working with. It can be your coach or your dentist, okay? It can be anyone you hire professionally to help you and serve you. You've been looking at this, and this is really important to evaluate how's that going for you. And that's why, I'm getting strong, is it's important for you to be a bit of a badass this month, so that if somebody's not serving you, whether it's the person that does your hair or your dentist, it's time to upgrade that relationship. It's time for you to be edgy and to be really focused on you. What do I want? What do I need? Is this person going to help me get there? Well, if they're not serving me the way I need them to in the role I've hired them to do, I need to hire someone new. And that's what this energy is about for you. It's bringing to conscious awareness what you need to be doing to get where you want to go, to live your best life, and to achieve your goals that you're wanting to accomplish here in 2017. And so the Saturn-Venus dance is to evaluate how that's working for you, and also, is there changes you want to make in your work or how you work? It could be the hours you work. Maybe you want to change the hours. Maybe you want to change the days. Maybe you want to work less and make more time for yourself. This is a great time to evaluate, because you're at your half birthday, so you've reached that half mark. Do I want to keep going on this path, or do I want to correct course? When the sun opposes your sun, you do get opposition from others, but that means you're getting somewhere. And it gives you a lot of energy to achieve great things. So even if others don't always agree with us, that doesn't mean we're not doing the right thing. That doesn't mean you're not achieving your goals. It can mean just that, is that because you're achieving, because you're making things happen, it is arousing maybe a bit of jealousy from others or a bit of opposition from others, and that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure you get where you want to go. That's where your power is, in how you take care of you and fulfill your responsibilities and duties and destiny, karma, soul purpose in this life at this time in April. Now Venus will sextile Mars on the 16th, because Mars is very late in Taurus, and that's a lovely energy. So that could be a solution for you, where you come to some realization about the work you're doing or who you're working with, how you're sharing resources, and how you can make a change for the better in regards to resources and work, how you're utilizing your time and energy at work or the work you do, and manage your resources. Now the Sun will trine Saturn on the 17th. That's very harmonious. And that could be where, it's the calm after the storm of the Uranian energy with the Sun squaring Pluto and all of that. Saturn forming a harmonious aspect with the Sun is where you can find that you're experiencing lasting success here, where you're either finding a harmony now with the people you're working with, but they're also finding you as someone that they can rely on and solid and supporting you. So even if at the full moon things get a bit intense, know that by the time we get to the 16th, the 17th, they're on your team again. They get it. They understand why you've been edgy. They understand why you're taking no prisoners. and that they're supporting you, that you're getting the recognition for making really good choices for yourself, or standing your ground, or pushing, really being edgy and pushing pushing back at others, asking more of them, asking them to contribute more, asking them to do more work, asking them to pay more money, asking them to step up. You're going to be feeling this at the full moon. And ask and you shall receive. You have Jupiter with that moon. And that's an omen of opportunity and prosperity for many months to come. And the sun enters Taurus on the 19th. Now this is awesome because this starts to ground all this energy. This is electrical energy. You are air, Aries is fire, and with the Pluto, it can be like, you know, explosive at times. It can be wild and chaotic and unpredictable. And, you know, again, this energy is affecting everyone. And so, you know, other people can feel that way for you, where, you know, that they're being unpredictable or unreliable, or, you know, one minute they're promising this and the next minute they're promising something else, or not, or they forgot the promise, right? And so, you know, the instability begins to calm down quite a bit when that sun enters earthy Taurus, who loves comfort, on the 19th. And Pluto is going to retrograde April 20th through September 28th. And of course, the other heavyweight, Saturn retrograde April 6th through August 25th. This is a hugely, bigly, greatly month, April. And so with Pluto retrograding, that'll give you a chance to take a breather, as well as the Saturn, and of course Venus is going direct. So this is a good month for you. And having these heavyweights, Saturn and Pluto, take their turn to reverse is very good, because it gives you an opportunity to integrate everything that you have learned since they went direct last year. And you know, with Pluto, it is about your power, how you use your power, how you own your power. It is about, you know, this huge transformation that we're all going through, especially the cardinal signs, the Libras, the Aries, the Cancers, the Capricorns. And, you know, for some of you, you may have moved, or important family members have moved out, you know, children going on to college, children, you know, moving on, as well as with the Saturn in the area of your mind and communication, and integrating, you know, all of the changes you've made there in regards to your communicating, how you communicate, and the things that you are changing in the area of speaking, writing, teaching, social media. And Mars enters Gemini on April 21st. Gemini is your sister sign. This is good because Mars is climbing to the top of your chart. And when Mars gets to Cancer, that's when you're really going to be, you know, seeing this Jupiter play out for you in the area of your destiny in the world and your profession in the world. And here in April, the Taurus new moon on April 26th is excellent. And this happens for you. It brings the action to other people's values, shared resources, intimacy, trust. And it's loosely trining Saturn, because Saturn is so late in Sagittarius. He almost makes it up to 28 degrees Sagittarius, and then he retrogrades back, and then he'll come back in August and head for Capricorn in December. And so he's loosely trining harmonious energy flow with the Taurus new moon, which is really good. And he's trining Mercury, who is exactly conjuncting Uranus on the 28th. This is really good news too, because with these two catching up to each other, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. And so with the two of them merging like this, and they're both being trined by Saturn, this is where, you know, the payoff is going to come for you in relationships by you standing your ground this month and asking more of people, asking more of them, and, you know, letting go of you know, anyone that's working for you or helping you, or, you know, that no longer is serving your needs or goals, being willing to let that person go, or that physician or whoever you're working with, being willing to move on from situations that you have outgrown or no longer serve you. And so I really like this Mercury coupled with Uranus and being trine by Saturn, because it gives you the power and the potential for lasting success. And it will, you know, bring insight into any relationship dynamic you've had going on that you need more understanding with, communication, better communication, solid communication. And this can bring you success. And you're getting a new start in intimacy as well, which is always exciting. And so this is a good month for you. You've got the edge. Now, for those of you open for love, anything's possible. We have a Libra full moon here, and Jupiter is coupled with the moon. There could be someone fabulous being brought right to you. And it could also be someone at a distance, because Mars is in that area of long distance, and someone foreign. So be open to, you know, who shows up, and see how it goes. I like you so far, let's see how it goes. Because it can happen, and it can be brought right to you. And that could be this energy too, for those of you open to love, that the universe surprises you with a new person to keep your life interesting and exciting. For those of you coupled, you know, is whatever comes up at the full moon, you can totally work it out, because Saturn is trining that sun. Saturn is trining Uranus there in the area of relationships. Saturn is trining Mercury in the area of relationships. Taurus calms the energy down in the area of intimacy, your partner's resources, your partner's values. And so you will work out whatever challenges come up, and ask for what you need, you know, and you'll see by the end of the month that your partner agrees, and that you get it, that your partner steps up, or your partner contributes something that you're looking for, or wants to also go on a trip with you and travel with you, or do something fun with you, or, you know, something that you've been wanting from your partner. You'll find that your partner, by the end of the month, it's all falling into place. Now, career, I mean, I'm seeing some changes in the area of how you work, but I'm not seeing a big focus in the area of career. It's really about your foundation. It's about you. It's about relationships. How is your health? I'm not seeing a challenge there either. In fact, with Venus going back there and then going direct, you could find that your health improves, that you're feeling better, and you're feeling more optimistic, and you're feeling more lucky that things are going your way. I wanted to mention that Mercury is going retrograde April 9th through May 3rd. And there is that weekend here where Mercury and Venus are retrograde April 9th through the 15th of April, when she'll go direct. So, you know, if you can, you know, don't sign any contracts during this time, or commit to a major purchase. However, commerce must go on, life must go on, and you need to do what you need to do. So the Mercury retrograde, Mercury starts out at 5 degrees Taurus and moves back into Aries, and will stationary direct on May 3rd in Aries. And so everything I've talked about in your video, about relationships, about asking for what you need from others, about shared resources, that is also part of the Mercury retrograde as well. So everything I've said in the video applies to this Mercury retrograde. It is important for you to hang loose during the retrograde time if you can, and then sign on the dotted line, you know, May 4th on. May is going to have that energy of green lights because Venus will be flying forward, your ruling planet. Mercury will be direct. Both of these are very important because they're so personal to us. And so I wanted to come back and mention that to you about the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury will be retrograde April 9th through May 3rd. And it's in the relationship area for you. And so be aware that you may be visiting with someone from your past. Someone from your past could be coming back. You may be rethinking, like I talked about in the first video, all about what you need in relationships. The Mercury is also similar in that theme with you about reevaluating relationships, not just personal, professional, colleagues, clients, patients, customers. You are to reevaluate these relationships and see what changes you need to make so that you're living your best life, you're achieving your goals, and you're happy. You're here to be happy.